back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, we're doing something super fun, which is I'm going to be eating foods from Disney movies for the whole day. So first up, we're going to be having some porridge from Beauty and the Beast. So I'll insert the clip in a minute. It's basically when the Beast sits down for breakfast with Belle. They're both having porridge. The Beast stuffs his face and it's very cute. Anyway, since I love porridge, you guys know that I wanted to have porridge for breakfast, so that's what I'm having today. Then for lunch, I'm going to be making spinach puffs from Emperor's New Groove. I still love Emperor's New Groove. I watched the movie and I also watched the TV show, loved it. So I really wanted to make the iconic spinach puffs. And then for dinner, we are having none other than spaghetti and meatballs from Lady and the Tramp. And then I'm also going to be making a fun little dessert and potentially another snack. So stay tuned for those. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. So first up for breakfast, I made the porridge from Beauty and the Beast. So as you can see here, it's this really cute scene where Beauty and the Beast are having breakfast together. Beast goes a bit crazy and scoffs down his porridge like I do most mornings. So I'm just making some super simple porridge here, just half a cup of oats with some water and some mashed banana. Then I put that in the microwave for about a minute and a half. Then when I take it out, I stir it around again, add in a little bit of protein powder and sometimes a little bit more water or milk if it's a bit dry, chuck it back in the microwave for a little bit, and then I'm just topping it off today with some maple syrup and then a little bit of almond milk on top. Usually I'd add in some frozen berries, some peanut butter or something, but the one in the Beauty and the Beast looked pretty minimal, so I tried to just copy that and have it a bit more plain this time, but it still tasted delicious, super great, super satisfying. This is just a fun little time lapse of me eating, you know. Why not? I was just sitting and watching a bit of TV while I was eating, chatting to Christian, and yeah, that was my morning breakfast meal. Super tasty, delicious, satisfying. I just love my porridge in the morning. Honestly, I really struggle to go a day without it, so that's why I chose porridge from Beauty and the Beast for my brekkie. Alright, so onto a little post-workout snack. I made the grey stuff from Beauty and the Beast. So as you can see in this little clip, it's from the song Be Our Guest, and one of the lyrics is actually, "Try the grey stuff, it's delicious." So I made the grey stuff with none other than delicious Oreos, and honestly, this tasted so good, so easy to make. All I'm using here is some plant-based yogurt as well as some protein powder, and then I just blitzed up 4 Oreos in the blender and then stirred that through. I also added in a little bit of almond milk because it was a little bit dry, and then again stirred that through, and then I put that in the fridge actually for a couple of hours while I went to the gym. And then when I came back, I transferred it into a little piping bag. Well, actually it was just a Ziploc bag because I don't have a piping bag. Anyway, if you have a piping bag, use a piping bag. And then I just piped it onto a little biscuit. So you can use whatever kind of biscuit you have. I actually think after I tasted it, the Oreo did taste better than a plain biscuit. But yeah, I had both of these types of biscuits. So I did one of each. But as you'll see shortly in the taste test, I did prefer the Oreos, so would recommend that. But anyway, this is just me piping it onto the cookie. It was pretty simple, easy to do, very delicious. I'm really glad I tried out this recipe. But anyway, let's watch my little taste test. So I've just done a workout, so don't mind me, but I am gonna have this as my post-workout snack. Let's give it a go. It's actually really good. I think I could have put more Oreos in the actual mousse itself. Like, it doesn't really taste that much like Oreos, it just tastes like my regular kind of protein mousse that I usually make. But I thought if I put too much, then it would go too dark in color, which I think is right because this color looks pretty good. I want to try it with the Oreo on the bottom. That is really good. If you're gonna make this recipe, I recommend doing the Oreo on the bottom. It tastes really, really good. It's such a fun post-workout snack. Wait, I've got to try it like Belle does. I'm gonna finish up this. I might have another one because it's really yummy. And then we're gonna assemble our spinach puffs. So here I have his spinach mixture that's just been sitting in the fridge. And I have my pastry sheets here, which have defrosted now, so we can get started on that. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. So I actually had loads left over, so I made some extras and gave some to Christian for him to test it out. Rating out of 10?
An 8.
That's pretty good. And now it is time for Kronk's famous spinach puffs.
Is something burning?
My spinach puffs.
Hey, good job.
Very good job.
Watch it. They're still hot.
So I will leave a link in the description box below and in the top right corner to my spanakopita recipe, and so that has the exact ingredients for the filling. But basically it's just tofu with some nutritional yeast, lemon, some herbs and spices, and a little bit of almond milk, and then some spinach as well. So it's pretty easy to make, but yeah, you can head over to that video to look at the exact recipe. But all I've done today is use puff pastry instead of phyllo pastry. So for the spanakopita, I used phyllo pastry, and today I'm using puff pastry, and then also, you know, rolling it into the kind of cone shape that Kronk's spinach puffs looked like. So all I'm doing here is cutting it up into a little square, putting a bit of almond milk on each side so that it kind of sticks better together, because I've heard that you need to really squish the puff pastry together so that it doesn't split open in the oven. But mine actually worked really well, and then yeah, I just brushed it with some more almond milk on top before I put them in the oven, and then I had some extra pastry and mixture, so I made some little kind of muffin pots with it because that was just easier than having to roll everyone. And then this is what it looks like after it's been in the oven for about 20 minutes. These smaller ones took 20 minutes and the bigger ones took 25 minutes. So depending on how big you make your puffs, it might need a little bit less or a little bit longer, but probably around that 20 to 30 minute range is what you're looking at. Alrighty, so here I have the final product, the delicious Kronk's spinach puffs from Emperor's New Groove. These actually look really, really good. I'm sure they're gonna taste good because, you know, I've already made this recipe before, just with a different puff pastry. Last time I used phyllo pastry, but let's give it a go. 10 out of 10. I think if I'd used fresh garlic, it would have been slightly better. I just used powdered garlic. But it's really, really yummy, and this pastry is so good. I'm gonna enjoy these for my lunch. I made heaps. Like, I seriously have so many, so I've got loads of leftovers. I might have an extra one of them as a snack in the afternoon if I get a bit peckish. I also just have some coleslaw here, not from Disney, but I just felt like I needed a bit of salad to go with my spinach puffs. So that's what I'm having. I'm gonna sit and enjoy this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Now it is time for dinner. I'm going to be making spaghetti and meatballs from Lady and the Tramp. So I did base this off a recipe that I found online. I will leave the link to that in the description box below, but obviously I'm going to be using plant-based mince instead of real beef. And how cute is this scene? Oh, it's just such a classic Disney film scene. Like, we just love to see it. Anyway, so part of this recipe that I found is to grate up the onion, which was an interesting experience because, as you can see here, it made me cry so much. My eyes were just filled with water. You can't see it in this clip, but like literally a tear came out of my eyes. It was like much more intense than just cutting up the onion. So I would say if you're gonna grate up your onion, just be prepared that you're probably gonna cry. Anyway, it did make a lot of juice come out of the onion, so I think that's why the recipe said to do it. And then we've got our little bread. Well, you meant to use breadcrumbs, but I didn't have them, so I just chopped up some bread. And that kind of soaks up that flavor from the onion. So, you know, that was a cool new method to try. I liked it. But yeah, I'm just mixing that up to try get the bread to really soak up that onion flavor. And then we're adding in the rest of the ingredients. So I used that plant-based beef mince as well as some garlic. I added in a bit of pesto for a bit of extra flavor because obviously I'm not using cheese and the recipe does say to add in cheese. And then I also added in some nutritional yeast and some fresh chives because yeah, the recipe I found said to add in parsley, but I didn't have that. So I added chives. And then here you can see I'm mixing through that plant-based beef mince. And yeah, that is it for our meatballs. Then I just have to form them into little balls and pan fry them just to get a bit of charring on them to get them a bit of cooked. And then I took them out of the pan once they had a nice kind of brown searing on them. And then I kept that for later when I made the sauce. So I just used a jar of sauce from the supermarket. It was like a tomato basil one, which was actually really nice. And I added in some fresh garlic and onion to that. And then I just used gluten-free spaghetti today because I do find that I get a bit bloated if I have too much like regular pasta. So that is it for my meal. How gorgeous does it look? Looks stunning, I think. I think it looks very similar to the actual one, so I was quite proud of myself. And stay tuned for a little taste test. Hi guys, so it's dinner time now. I have made my spaghetti and meatballs. It was actually quite a long process. The meatballs took a little bit of time to make, and then the sauce wasn't too bad, but yeah, it took a while, but I'm keen to try it now. Try to get a meatball and some sauce. It's Chai moaning in the background if you can hear him. Let's have a go. Hits the spot. The sauce is actually really good. That tomato passata brand is really nice, and especially with the added in fresh garlic, fresh onion, and I added in some dried basil as well. I didn't have any fresh basil. I would have added in fresh if I had it, but I had dried basil. There's already basil in the sauce, so it's got this really nice basil-y flavour. The meatballs are actually really good. Well, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this meal. To be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to make a dessert. I was planning on making a cake from Lilo and Stitch, however, yeah, we'll see how much energy I have after I finish eating this and if I'm even hungry, because it's quite a big meal. But otherwise, if I don't end up making it, let me know in the comments down below if you'd be keen for part 2 of Disney movies, because there's quite a few movies that I didn't get around to, and there's also Pixar. So Pixar is actually a subsidiary of Disney, and I kind of didn't realize that when I was planning this, because there's the Ratatouille from Ratatouille, which is from Disney Pixar, and then there's a whole lot of other things from Pixar movies which I realized are actually owned by Disney. So we could do a Disney Pixar kind of vibe video like this. So let me know in the comments down below if you'd be keen, and if you are keen, are there specific foods that you want me to try out, because I love listening to your recommendations and giving them a go. It's really fun. So yeah, I'm gonna keep eating this, and we'll see if I end up making dessert. Anyway, bye. And now onto dessert. I did end up making the cake. I'm making this really cute little chocolate cake from Lilo and Stitch. As you can see, you know, Stitch scoffs it down before Lilo gets a chance to have it. So it must have been a great cake. Anyway, I'm kind of just eyeballing this recipe, to be honest with you. I put in some protein powder, some cocoa powder, some baking powder. I added in some buckwheat flour, some hazelnut oil, some maple syrup, and some almond milk. And that was about it. I just added in a little bit of almond milk extra until it got to my desired cake batter texture. And then I actually put it into a cake tin because I wanted to make a layer cake, but I wanted to make a mini layer cake. So I'm making kind of like a sheet cake, I guess you would say. And so I cooked that in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then I'm just using these little round mold things to cut out some little circles, and then I will layer that up in a little mini cake. So it actually worked really well, and this mixture kind of just tasted like a brownie, to be honest. It was really yummy, and I actually cut the remainder of it, like all the offcuts, into little brownies and ate them the following days. So it was actually turned out really well, which is good. And then here, what I'm using as the icing is actually just yogurt with some protein powder mixed into it, because, you know, I'm trying to make this a bit healthier than like your regular cake, but it is still really delicious. And me and my boyfriend were watching Harry Potter. We're actually like going through all the Harry Potter movies at the moment, so that was fun. Hence why you're not going to see an actual taste test, but this was really, really yummy, and would recommend trying it out. I will put the exact ingredients in the description box below, but yeah, I kind of was eyeballing it, so it's not going to be like gram for gram. I didn't actually measure the grams, it's just kind of rough estimates. But I do have a couple of brownie recipes up on my channel, so I'll link them down below as well, and you can try them out. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any other suggestions for videos or things you'd like me to try. I'm thinking of doing a day where I eat foods from specific TV shows or movies that I love. Like for example, Friends. There's some great meals in there. But yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in seeing videos like this, or if there's something else that you'd like me to do, let me know. I'd also love to try out some of your recipes. So if you have any cool recipes you'd like me to try out, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you don't already, follow me on Instagram because I do post some kind of poll things over there. So for this video, actually, I posted a few different polls to get a gauge of like what recipes you guys would like to see. So yeah, that's a way that I can kind of, you know, talk to you guys and get your feedback and get your ideas. So I'm just at Saska Lily on Instagram if you don't follow me already. And yeah, I hope you guys have the best day. I hope you really enjoyed this video and it brought you some kind of joy and happiness. I hope you guys are safe and well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.